guys, so I'm back making videos for you guys. Today I will be making Turkish style Revani Semolina cake steeped in syrup. So obviously by the name you know it's a Turkish cake, but different parts of the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern countries use it. Like Syria has their version, Jordan has their version, Egypt, Greece. So they all have the same type of semolina cake, but they sometimes just use different ingredients in it. But today I'll be making the actual Turkish style Revani semolina cake. So for my ingredients, obviously I have my semolina, fine. This is important. It has to be fine and not to the coarse version. I have my baking powder. I also need baking soda. I'll get that later. I have my orange because I'll need to peel some. And I have my Turkish yogurt, and it's just normal style, there's no flavor. I have my rose water, sugar, flour, vanilla essence, and for this recipe I also need 3 eggs and some vegetable oil. So for the syrup, we're going to make the syrup first. So you need 3 cups of sugar. I know it looks a lot, but obviously it's going to dissolve. And you need 3 cups of water. See, it's already started to dissolve a little bit. I think I need a bigger saucepan, probably. Yeah, it should be okay. Oh, forgot to turn on my stove. That would help. So you want to do that. And you want to bring this to a boil while continuously stirring. So guys, as you can see, I actually did transfer it to something bigger because my saucepan was too small. I was afraid that if it boiled, it would just boil over and then it would just have wasted the syrup. So, just stirring it a little bit more. So you want it to be on high so we can get it to a nice boil. And just stir, make sure the sugar doesn't stick to the bottom. Let that sit for a moment. I already cut up my orange peel, and later on I'll add it with 1 teaspoon of my rose water. So you still want to stir it, keep stirring until it boils. It'll take a bit of time, but while that is boiling, you can already start greasing your pan with butter. So you need about like a 9-inch to 13-inch pan, but I can't find mine for some reason. I don't know where it is. So I'm gonna use two different kinds of pans, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll make it work. So while your syrup is cooking, you can already start prepping your pan. So as you can see, it's already starting to bubble a little bit. So I'm just gonna drop in my orange zest in there and leave it in there until we get the syrup to bubble. So that's nice and bubbly. Just want to give it a quick gentle stir. Smells like syrup. Smells really sweet, nice, especially with the lemon. The orange peel. Smells really nice. Okay. So then we'll have to reduce the heat to low, and we'll want to let that still boil by itself, and check it a few times. Just give it a quick stir also for a few times, and for about 10 minutes we'll leave it on the low setting. For about 10 minutes, and then when the 10 minutes are up, we'll add our rose water. So it's been 10 minutes. Want to turn that off, stir a little bit. Okay, you'll want to let that cool down. And then for the rose water, you can either use rose water, or if you want, you can also use half a juice of orange or lemon. It's up to you. But I prefer to use the rose water just because the flavor of the rose water will give it like a, I don't know, that extra kick. So really just like a bit, because rose water is already powerful. So you'll just want, here you go. So that's enough. Quick stir. And you can let that cool down and go on with the cake now. So now for the cake mix, I already put in my 3 eggs. I have to put in half a cup of sugar. Okay. And you'll want to whisk that very well until the sugar dissolves. And the more you whisk, the more that your Revani will turn out better. So there you go, guys. This is what I mean about, see how it is? Like very creamy. All this sugar is melted. So I whisked it by hand for about like 15 minutes about. You could do it with an electric mixer, but I just prefer to do this one by hand. So this is done. Okay. And we're gonna add 3/4 cups of vegetable oil into our egg and sugar mixture. A whole orange zest. You could also use lemon, but I chose orange. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, and 1 cup of plain yogurt. So I chose plain Turkish yogurt. Okay. And we'll want to whisk that again for several more minutes. Like I said, you could always use the electric mixer, no problem. But I just prefer doing this by hand myself. So I'll mix that for about like 5 minutes. And then we'll go on to our dry ingredients. Okay, so for our dry ingredients, we'll need 3 tablespoons of flour, just normal flour. And then we'll have our 1 cup of semolina. half a teaspoon of baking soda. Have this. So this is 1 teaspoon in the bag, so we'll want like half of that. Let's see if I can get half. Yeah, so there you go. Half baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Oops. There we go. Now we'll want to mix that again until smooth. And you'll probably want to already have your oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit or what's that, like 175 Celsius. So we'll want to mix that until smooth. No little bubbles in there. So how good does that look? It's nice and smooth and it smells amazing. You can smell like the vanilla, the orange zest, the yogurt, the sugar. It smells really great. I just want to give that a nice turn. And now it's time to transfer it in our baking pan. Alright, so just want to get everything in there. So here it is, guys. Everything is in there. So I think my pan is a little big, but it should still work because the cake is not really gonna rise that much. Like it's a short type of cake, but we still want it to be nice, rise nicely. So I'm just gonna do it like that. And that's it. So you'll want to put it in the oven for about 40 minutes until the top is nice and brown. And also use the toothpick trick. Just put it in the middle to see if it comes out clean. If it doesn't, then you know that it needs to cook a little bit more. So I would say about 40 minutes, but if it takes a little longer, cook it a little longer, but just obviously watch out for it. So there it is, guys. So it's all done. It smells really great. So what we'll do, first we'll drizzle some of our syrup on top, give it a nice coating, and then I'll also cut it into like serving sizes, like little squares, and then drizzle some more syrup. So we'll want to save half of our syrup for the second part also. Alright, so let's just taste our syrup. Tastes really nice. So we'll want to drizzle everywhere. And if you have some syrup left over, it doesn't really matter. I feel like you can always use syrup in other like dessert dishes. So honestly, don't even worry about it because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have some syrup left over. But that's okay. Like I said, you can use it for another recipe also, so it's not a big deal. Okay. So then also I'm gonna cut it. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, about this is okay. Okay. Oh. Yes, it's not ready. And I'm just gonna cut it. also the edges, because the edges I feel like are missing a little bit. Okay, and that's it. So next step, what I'll do is I'll put a foil on top and put it in the fridge for, I would say, about like half an hour, just to let it cool down and have the syrup have time to like really absorb into the cake, and then that'll be even tastier. So here it is. I just took it out of the fridge. You can also leave it for several more hours if you guys have time, but for the purpose of the video, I just waited about like 40 minutes or so. Okay, let's see if this works with the cake thing. A nice piece. So here it is. This is the Revani cake. You can see that the syrup absorbed nicely inside. Let's see how it is. That's really good. It's not too sweet, but at the same time is like really nice like sweetness to it. And also you could add some like crushed hazelnuts or crushed almonds or pistachios would be nice actually with these. Crush them up and just put it on top of the cake, or you can put powdered sugar, but honestly I think if you just had the nuts or even by itself, this is actually really good by itself. You don't really need to add extra stuff on it unless you wanted to. So yeah, this is my Revani cake. If you guys do make it, please let me know how it turned out.